Yo, this is Ace Banton in SAT building, baby. You're watching SAT Telecom, that's the #1 choice. Boom!
Whenever the iron play, I'll be there. Wherever the steel band play, I'll be there. Anytime it's carnival, yo, festival, bacchanal, behind the big truck, down the road, everybody, they know that I'll be there. Yo, this is Mr. Challenge, you're watching SAT TV, the people's choice.
Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Desmond Joseph.
And I am Shanna Esprit.
And we are your presenters for today. In our top stories, Petro-Caribbean introduces new cooking gas bottle.
Ambitious social programs underway in Haiti.
North Korea tells foreigners in the South to take safety measures.
And in sports, several teams posted wins last weekend in the 2013 Dominica Football Association All-Ireland League.
Details of these and other stories will follow.
SAT Telecoms. And I'm a tutuni. Big up, one love.
It's only when we unite as one, then a lot more thing can be done. Stop this useless fight down, killing out your own brother, man. Time we rise and all realize we have an enemy in disguise, standing right in the mix of you. Got to know who is who. This is Derek Peters and you're watching SAT TV. That's what I have, SAT TV. SAT TV, that's the way to go. Rah! To the world. Ooh, diddy, ooh, diddy, ooh, diddy.
Welcome back. In our local news, on Sunday, April 7th, the United Workers' Party assembled for a retreat where the party discussed the issues that they are unhappy with. Leader of the United Workers' Party, Mr. Edison James, stated that as a political party, it is necessary that its members brainstorm ways to move forward in the near future.
Well, from time to time, as you would know, organizations, including political organizations, will get together to review where they have come from, where they are, and where they're going to, and take decisions and do some strategic planning to facilitate and enhance their opportunities and chances of meeting the objective. We are a political party. We're involved in elected politics. Constitutionally, elections are due probably around April 2015. So this is an appropriate juncture for us to have come together.
Mr. James said, one of the main issues discussed is the procedures for the general elections, example, the voting national identification cards.
And we had an update as to where we are. We are actively engaged in the business of identifying and putting candidates in place. We were able to feel comfortable as to where we are. Obviously, based on the political culture of our country, you hardly ever have a situation where at this time any political party has all its candidates in place and settled and everything. So when we're comfortable with where we are, then the whole question of your plans and programs and the updating of these plans and programs. And it's updating because we reviewed a number of the plans and programs which we have been articulating over the years, some of which we implemented while we were in office. So a number of them are still very, very relevant.
Another point that was brought up at the retreat was the construction of the Dominica's International Airport. Mr. James strongly believes that a national airport is a necessity for Dominica.
And a key one is the construction of an international airport with its capacity to generate employment, income, and revenue for the country. So there are a number of these that, as I said, projects that are still relevant, notwithstanding they have been in the public domain from us for a while, 500 houses in 500 days. And very importantly, just the whole
Mr. James said they also discussed employment for the youth. It is vital that the younger generation earn their own money, he added. Overall, he believes that the retreat went well, and he says that the United Workers' Party is ready to move forward.
It is my hope and expectation that today's exercise will better equip us to become fully engaged with our people throughout the length and breadth of this country, to listen to them, to learn from them, to educate and be educated by them, so that together we may design and implement the people's plans and programs for the true development of our country. Workers, I heartily welcome you as we take this firm step on our journey back to elective government. I thank you.
In other news, during the 29th Annual General Meeting of the Dominican Association of Persons with Disabilities, held on Monday, April 8th, President of the association, Mr. Alexander St. Louis, made an appeal for government to increase its $11,000 monthly subvention. Mr. St. Louis stated, although the association has created employment for several persons, they are facing difficulties with payment for its hard-working employees. The problem was further highlighted as Mr. St. Louis mentioned that at the end of 2012, a sum of $14,786 for 4 months' salary was outstanding.
The situation has grown even worse since then, and the figures now stand at $21,600 as of the end of March 2013. I stated at the beginning that we are a non-commercial entity which relies on grants and donations for our survival. Most of these donors do not provide support for recurring expenditures. DAPD has been attempting for some time to get our government to fill in this gap and have made representation for the annual subvention, which is now received, to be increased to a level where employees can be guaranteed their salary on a more regular basis.
He appealed to government to please consider their request, as $11,000 annually is simply not adequate to sustain the association. Minister for Social Services, Community Development and Gender Affairs, Honorable Gloria Shillingford, said they would like to increase the subvention. However, the global economic situation does not permit this increase. She said the ministries will try its best to work towards the increase in the near future, and as government, they will continue to give the association its support. The association also received a cash donation of $2,000 from Domlec.
So we're very happy to be able to present again for another year our contribution to the organization, which will assist in the smooth running somehow of some of the things that you are expected to do this year. We note that you have quite a number of activities coming up this year, and of course we will assist in those activities as long as we possibly can. So definitely feel free when those activities are coming up, you may wish to contact me. I'm giving you my word on that. So we will continue to assist, and we really want on this 30th anniversary of the 29th General Meeting, but you're celebrating what, 30 years. So we really want to congratulate the organization, and you've grown from strength to strength. And as Mr. Prevost noted, your achievements are not only in what is written, but also in the things that you've been able to accomplish as an organization.
Parliamentary representative for Roseau Central constituency, Honorable Norris Prevost, congratulated its association for its tremendous achievement during its strategic plan implementation in 2010. He urged the members of the association to use their citizenship power to advocate for Dominica's democracy, good governance, and our society.
And I want at this stage to make a special appeal to government and to your sponsors. Respect you, respect your voice when you decide to speak out for the nation and for the oppressed and for justice. That is your duty. Do not victimize you by way of sponsorship or other aspects of this. So I'm saying to you, there is some risk involved, but this is a duty that you as an organization have to use your powerful voice to speak out for those people who have no voice, either because they themselves feel afraid that they might be individually victimized if they speak out on matters of social justice.
Mr. Privo noted what the association has achieved is a certain honesty, accountability, and integrity in running this association, which he believes surpasses by far the physical achievements they have.
In more stories, Child Fund Caribbean support from the Pan American Development Foundation and in partnership with the East and West Dominica Children's Federation recently completed the Training of Trainers workshop for the All We Need Is Love youth project. The youth project, which is being piloted in Dominica this year, saw the participation of over 40 young persons ages 13 to 27 years who participated in the 4-day workshop. One of the facilitators of the workshop, Mr. Humberto Camarena, said, "This is a really exciting project that seeks to encourage youth island-wide to promote youth-friendly spaces where they can discuss issues affecting them."
Today we did an activity. It was called a public service announcement. And this is one of the activities that's available to them in their toolkits that they're receiving. And the purpose of this is to engage youth in conversation that is meaningful, that's about their community. And so they identified an issue that they see in their communities, and they did a 30-second radio announcement. They were given 20 minutes to come up with just 30 seconds of something that can be on the radio. And we role-played as if we were a radio station, Matt in the morning. They really loved it, and they did such a phenomenal job pinpointing the issues, how they can act, what kinds of reasons people should be inspired to act, and how.
Mr. Camarena noted this exercise was a creative way to spark brainstorming of critical issues affecting their communities and tangible ways to act to resolve them. The activities at the retreat will also further equip the youth with leadership and other critical skills that will support the initiatives of youth-led positive change in their communities.
This youth group is very clearly inspirational. They're full of leaders. They're really motivated to do something in the community, and they're looking for the tools to really take it and run with it, do something creative, use their abilities. And I can tell by the types of questions that they're asking, by the types of comments that they bring up about what they see in the community, how they show love for themselves, how they take care of themselves, their personal health, issues that come up. And I can see that they're getting it. They're really understanding the critical issues that is about love, spreading love in the community, spreading love with their peers, teachers, friends.
Executive Director of Kalinago Child Support Foundation Incorporated, Ms. Amanda Theodore, who participated at the workshop, mentioned, "The workshop broadened her mind, making her more open to various ideas on how she can help the youth in her community." She explained some of the information she acquired during the workshop.
It was really about learning on leadership skills and how to go about working with people in different areas, those with problems, those who want to become better at whatever they're doing, anything that makes you better than what you are. Well, I'm working with the Kalinago territory, and in the territory there is a lot of poverty, abuse, a high level of everything you can think of. And because the Kalinago territory is one of the biggest or largest communities in Dominica, I have a handful of work. Now, because of that, it's all different areas that I have to deal with, and it has been posing a challenge for me. Now, being through this workshop, it has broadened my memory, my mind, open to many different things, different ways I can go about approaching the problems and stuff of that sort.
All We Need Is Love is a 3-year project which directly correlates to Child Fund's theory of change for the youth. This is done based on the hypothesis that if the youth learn to love themselves, are employed, make positive choices, and engage in promoting positive social change in their communities, there will be more skilled and resilient youth thriving in safer and more productive societies. Furthermore, the youth will be supported by Federation staff and the technical professionals from various social sectors to create youth-friendly spaces in their communities and to facilitate activities in the following 4 progressive stages: love for self, love for others, love for community, and youth-led change. In more news, Petrocarib has been established since 2007 and has made quite a few contributions towards the development of Dominica. From the Yes We Care program to road developments, the company has invested several millions of dollars in the Dominican economy through various projects across the country. This month, as Petrocarib celebrates their annual Health and Safety Month with the theme An Obligation, Not an Option, Sales and Marketing Manager Mr. Ian Pinard was proud to introduce the new LPG fiberglass bottle to coincide with the company's concern over safety.
The fiberglass bottle is non-explosive, non-corrosive. It's very easy to handle, lightweight, so any woman can lift it up, and any child can lift it up. We are selling it at a very attractive price of only $30 island-wide. So from Capuchin to Scottsdale, from Penville to Delicis, the price is $30. The bottle is we ordered this type of bottle because of the safety features that it has, and it's one of the things we put high up on the agenda at Petrocarib is safety.
Mr. Pinard highlighted the contributions made by the company on a regular basis.
Some of the things that we are doing, especially in the LPG, the social program that we have in the LPG, where we give a free LPG bottle to all centenarians in Dominica, and also under the Yes We Care program. So all the persons under the Yes We Care program and the centenarian receive a free LPG under our social program. And this has benefited tremendously to a lot of persons. You know, we have 24 centenarians under that program, and we have close to 150 persons under the Yes We Care program. It's you know, the persons, you know, are very happy with what we are doing, especially the persons under the Yes We Care program. Those who doesn't have a store, we provide also a store with them.
He stated customers have been very receptive to the new and improved bottle thus far.
Have a lot of people been receptive so far to the new?
Very, very receptive. In fact, you know, the bottle has been there since February, and we have been advertising, and people keep calling and say when we're going to start selling it. So people are excited about it because I think they find that it's lightweight. They can see where their gas is. So, if, for example, if the gas is low, they realize that they cannot bake today. You know, so you know the fact is that it's very attractive too. You know, to put in your kitchen. I think all that in because people have come to me and said, you know, they want the fiberglass bottle over the metal bottle every day because it's a lot more attractive.
The marketing manager invites the general public to be a part of the expo on Friday, April 12th, 11 a.m. at the PSU. The expo is in an effort to put health and safety as a great priority in Dominica.
We have also done something differently this year where we have an expo. So on Friday at the PSU building, we'll have an expo from 11 a.m. It's free of charge and it's open to the general public, where we have 18 companies, including Petrocarib, will be taking part. We have companies like Gia Stevens and Company, the Dominica Red Cross, Omega Driving from St. Lucia, Glam Cosmetic, Jolly's Pharmacy, Quick Care Pharmacy, Optifarm Cooperative, Domlec Ambulance Fire Services, the Drug Unit, Elephant Promotion and Resource Center, the Traffic Department, Dominica Solid Waste Management Authority, Disaster Preparedness, the Sign Man, All Saints University, Rich Safety, and Fresh Vitamins. So all these companies will have a booth at the expo and showcasing their products. In fact, Glam will be giving free 5-minute massages, and hopefully the media can take advantage of this. We'll also be giving free blood pressure and sugar testing at that function.
To date, Petrocarib employs 38 locals with 53 agents around Dominica and sells gas to most communities in Dominica. He added it is the company's plan to have one agent in every village.
In more news, are you interested in being educated on the significance of a healthy lifestyle? If you are, on Friday, April 12th, the Nature Isle 365 Club will host a 3-day workshop on healthy living at the Patrick John Football House from 3 p.m. President of the club, Ms. Louisa Prince, said the idea was initiated by the Caribbean Netball Association in collaboration with OCAS.
We are planning a 3-day weekend workshop at the Patrick John Football House, and what this workshop will entail is a trainer from St. Lucia and one from Barbados who will be working alongside myself, Kernia John, and Lisa James. We will be delivering topics such as self-esteem, leadership, and we will be also educating the youth on how we could spread the message of HIV and AIDS via sports.
Ms. Prince added, since it is a For You by Youth project, the main target is the youth within Dominica.
And we look for the ages between 14 and 23, where we train them to be youth leaders, mentors, and trainers. But we also would like people above the age of 23 to come along board with us, because we as a youth, we need a stronger shoulder that we could lean on, and our support here is the sports division.
The main expectation of the workshop is for the youth to grasp the message. Ms. Prince hopes they will instill the message in their everyday lives, which she believes will help them to become better individuals. When asked how this workshop would benefit persons living with HIV and AIDS, she had this to say.
It will benefit them in the sense that when we tell them that when you have HIV and AIDS, it is not a death sentence, but you can also protect yourself using the antiviral drugs, and being an HIV positive individual, you can educate others on the ways that they could prevent themselves from getting STIs, and how you can deal with the stigmatizations of what the world has on you.
Ms. Anika Proctor, treasurer of the club as well as a new member, believes that the workshop will be beneficial to anyone who attends.
One reason why, I'd say it would empower you. So by coming to a workshop, you'd learn things you'd never, that would be apparent to you. However, you will grasp a knowledge that it's higher than your level, make you be able to speak to people on different topics of levels you would never expect yourself speaking on.
In other stories, the Dominica Agricultural Producers and Exports Limited is a private company owned mainly by farmers and is responsible for the export of agricultural produce throughout the region. Mr. Julian Elwin, the operations manager of DAPEC, said there are immense opportunities for youth in agriculture. However, the fact that the banana industry has been stigmatized as hard work for little pay is a deterrent that is not necessarily true. He did a small mathematical calculation on how monies can be earned by growing one type of product.
Mr. Elwin, you were saying that in spite of all the talks about tourism can be the major source of income for Dominica, that you're still encouraging youth to get into that industry because there's a market for it?
You know, if you got 1 acre of avocado, which is about 60 trees, in 5 years you get 500 avocados per tree, and 500 by 60 trees, how many avocados it is? Right, that's 50,000 avocados. Now you get $1 per avocado. Now how many jobs in Domlec can give you $50,000?
Mr. Elwin said that though the exports program of DAPEC's farmers are not restricted to bananas, but a variety of produce including avocados, plantain, ginger, dasheen, and a growing demand for yellow yams.
Limes and pink grapefruit, botanic, Valentine, we love this. All right, so we do have some crucifix and pineapple and so on, 20 boxes, 30 boxes, and so on. But there is huge demand for crops which have high value. For example, limes, a tree of limes give you four cases of limes at $50, 50 pounds a box. All right, so and you're talking about 60 trees. So do the maths and you know what you get. So
this is what Mr. Elwin had to say regarding the opportunities in agriculture.
You know, there's immense opportunities for youth in agriculture. I want to encourage, even people here have lands that are abandoned and people have got, depressed and, future is dim. There's an opportunity to get involved on your parents' properties and get involved in some productive activity that will give you some really good benefits and give you some independence as a young person, dominantly.
He stated his full support of tourism as there is a strong link between tourism and agriculture.
To answer the question about tourism in particular, I fully support tourism, okay? And because there's a strong link between agriculture and tourism, because production can be used to feed local market and it can also be used for exports as well. And if you have to use that example, a perfect example how tourism and agriculture is intertwined in the region is in Barbados.
Specific mention was made to Barbados as they are thriving in both tourism and agriculture. In court tonight, 2 men who let their anger get the better of them when they fought on a public road will have to wait for their trial to begin on Monday, August 26, 2013. 43-year-old Jeffrey Latham and the 37-year-old Irvin Elise, both of Grand Colibri Grand Bay, were both arrested following a fight they engaged in on the Grand Colibri public road in Grand Bay on Sunday, April 7th. They were jointly charged with wounding, which they both pled guilty. However, the duo pled not guilty to the charge of disorderly conduct. The men appeared before Magistrate Evelina Baptiste. In more court news, St. Joseph resident Shane Shipley, who pled guilty to possession of cannabis when he appeared before Magistrate Candia George, was on Tuesday, April 9th, fined $500. He was caught with the illegal substance on Monday, April 8th in Woodridge Bay, Fonkole, and was arrested. In other court news, one man found himself in serious trouble with the law after he was charged with indecent assault and unlawful sexual intercourse. These serious indictable charges stemmed from a sexual encounter or encounters the defendant allegedly engaged in with the 13-year-old sister of his girlfriend between January 1st to March 31st, 2013. The police prosecutor objected to bail on the grounds that the defendant is intimate with the victim's sister and the defendant also lives just 15 feet away from the victim. As a result of the close proximity of their residence, he said it is impossible that they will not come in contact with each other, and if released, the defendant will pervert the course of justice. The prosecutor stated bail can be revisited if and when the defendant changes residence. Magistrate Evelina Baptiste denied bail. The trial is set for June 19, 2013 at Castle Bruce.